Hello gamers! This week we had big releases and big news. Diablo 4's latest expansion and PS5 exclusive Saros made their way into the hands of the world, while the new Steam controller made its way into the hands of a select few. A Battlefield movie is reportedly in the works with Christopher McQuarrie and Michael B. Jordan attached, and the alleged assassination attempt on US President Donald Trump somehow made its way into gaming news. Of course, we're now in what looks to be a very exciting May, not just because my birthday is next week, but because we'll finally be playing a stack of great games, including Mixtape, Forza Horizon 6, 007 First Light, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, and LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. But before all that, we've got some news to get through. Xbox steals the headline again this week, although this time it's on a sour note. Its latest financial results covering the third quarter of the 2025-2026 financial year show Xbox hardware sales dropped 33%. Sound familiar? It's because they dropped 32% last quarter. In fact, Xbox hardware sales have dropped every quarter since December 2023. That's 9 consecutive quarters. The latest earnings report, which released on Thursday, April 30th, also show Xbox's gaming revenue dropped 7% and Xbox's content and services dropped 5%. On Monday, April 27th, Xbox CEO Asher Sharma and Chief Content Officer Matt Booty spoke to the GameFile for an exclusive interview to talk about last week's announcement Microsoft Gaming would be rebranding back to Xbox. One of the hot topics to come from this was Xbox saying it was reconsidering its approach to exclusivity. Speaking on this, Xbox CEO Asher Sharma says, "I want to make the right decision, not the fastest decision. We'll take a data-driven approach and a strategic-driven approach, and then we'll look at our principles and we'll make some calls. So we'll share more when we're ready." It's certainly not a conclusive statement, but it seems Xbox aren't ruling out any possibilities in their effort to stop the decline in sales. On Tuesday, April 28th, reviewer embargoes lifted on Valve's new Steam controller. For those who remember the original, it was billed as a controller that would give you an almost PC-like level of control from the comfort of your couch. Unfortunately, it didn't quite live up to that specific goal, but was in my view still a fantastic controller. Its trackpads and haptic feedback inform the Steam Deck and the Steam Controller 2.0. Reviews for the new controller were largely glowing. Bo Moore of IGN gave it a 9 out of 10 and says, "The Steam controller offers both an excellent out-of-the-box experience as well as a playground for enthusiasts to tinker to their heart's content. If you're just looking for a fantastic controller for playing PC games and navigating the desktop in between them, the Steam controller handles those duties with aplomb. And if you're a die-hard customizer who wants to build out or just borrow from the community bespoke button bindings and advanced touchpad controls, it does that too. Most importantly, it does both of those things without sacrificing one experience for the other." Valve announced the Steam controller will be available to purchase on May 5th in Australia. It will launch exclusively on the Steam store for $150 Australian dollars and $99 US dollars. Sorry, Kiwi friends, there's no New Zealand price yet. Valve, of course, originally announced the Steam controller back in November alongside the Steam Machine, its take on a home console, and the Steam Frame, its latest VR headset. Unfortunately, Valve remains tight-lipped as to when we'll see those two products. In February, it said in a blog post it had been forced to delay their launch due to the sharp and steep increase in memory and storage prices seen globally over the last 12 months. It also said it hopes to release all three products in the first half of this year. One down, Valve, 2 to go. On April 29th, Roblox announced a new hybrid architecture to overlay its games with photorealism. Roblox says Roblox Reality combines the Roblox game engine, cloud, a super sampler, and the Roblox Video World model. Its Senior Vice President of Engineering says the system would empower creators of all sizes and democratize creation. Following the announcement, PC Gamer accused Roblox of pulling a DLSS 5, which itself was met with massive backlash when Nvidia announced its AI upscaling software on March 17th. DLSS 5 instantly became the global meme of the week, and was met with near universal outrage from the gaming and artistic communities for the way it substantially changed the art style of games. It was also mocked for yassifying Resident Evil Requiem's main character Grace, appearing to give her larger lips and a full face of makeup. Roblox carefully refrained from using the term AI in its release, but it has previously been open about its belief AI is part of gaming's future. Lauren has the full story on that one, you can check it out on our website. In slightly weirder news, on April 26th, it was revealed Cole Allen, the man charged with attempting to assassinate US President Donald Trump, had created a game that was available on Steam. Boredom, released in 2018, is self-described as a skill-based, non-violent asymmetrical fighting game loosely derived from a chemistry model that is itself loosely based on reality. The game's Steam page was inundated with reviews mocking the alleged assassination attempt in the hours after the news of Alan's connection to the game was first reported by Wired. Within 48 hours of the report, Valve pulled the game from sale on Steam, but its listing and litany of reviews still remain. The Byte has contacted Valve for comment. In surprise news, The Hollywood Reporter has revealed a Battlefield movie is in the works. Christopher McQuarrie, who directed the last 4 Mission Impossible films, is attached to write, direct, and produce the adaptation, while Oscar winner Michael B. Jordan is attached to produce and possibly star, depending on several factors. Hollywood seems to have grown infatuated with video game properties in recent years, following a number of recent successes, including the Minecraft movie and Sonic the Hedgehog movies. It also follows the success of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which is set to be the first film to break $400 million at the box office this year. This week also saw the release of a couple of hotly anticipated games, both of which rose to expectations. Diablo 4's latest expansion, Lord of Hatred, released on April 28th and sits at a 91% rating on OpenCritic. Tyler Culp of PC Gamer gave it a 9 out of 10 and says there's never been a better time to play Diablo 4. The Lord of Hatred campaign is about accepting the past and moving forward, as its characters bring everything they've learned into new battles. The same can be said about the ways Diablo 4 has evolved over the last several years, and in this expansion alone. The changes in Lord of Hatred target Diablo 4's greatest flaws, and instead of slapping on quick fixes, Blizzard has found creative new solutions that avoid the pitfalls of the past. And just 2 days later, on April 30th, Saros, the hotly anticipated spiritual successor to Returnal, released on PS5. It's currently sitting at a whopping 94% on OpenCritic. Saros is a phenomenal game that flips Housemarque's roguelite formula on its head and improves upon its spiritual predecessor in every conceivable way. While IGN gave it one of the less positive reviews, scoring it a 7 out of 10. If you're going to make the joke, don't worry, because Saros's lead actor Raul Coley beat you to it, while on a stream with legendary Australian video game journalist, voice actor and all-round superstar Alana Pierce, where he wore an IGN 7 out of 10 good shirt. IGN's Michael Ingham says, Saros seems like it's trying to align itself more closely with Sony's other prestige single-player games by having a more deliberate, high-concept story. But the ways the storytelling comes up short really stick out when there's a bigger emphasis on it this time around. Saros gets halfway there, but unfortunately it leaves many of its stronger plot lines underdeveloped. And a couple of release date announcements dropped this week. Subnautica 2 will be arriving to Steam via early access on May 14, following the release of a new cinematic trailer on Thursday, and Star Wars Galactic Racer also got the trailer treatment, announcing it will be coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S on October 6. And yes, there's pod racing. Coming up this week, we have our eye on Mixtape from developer Beethoven and Dinosaur, based in Melbourne, Australia, and published by Annapurna Interactive. This one has been on my radar for quite some time. It follows a group of high schoolers celebrating their final night of high school in the 1990s. It features a soundtrack that reads like a millennial teenager's wet dream and a gorgeous art style. It comes out this Friday, May 7th on PC, PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, and Xbox Series X and S. My review for it will be arriving the following week. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to support us further, please visit our Patreon. Memberships cost less than a cup of coffee and allow us to spend more time making content for you. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next week.